Hi everyone, welcome back to StyleNovice and welcome to week 3, block 3 of my Quilting for Beginners. This week I'm showing you the Churn dash pattern, so stay tuned. To make this block you will need 4 coloured fabrics. You will need colour A, which I have used as pink. This is the central square. One square sized 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Then you have the border surrounding the centre square. I've used white. You will need 2 rectangles 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. You'll need a third colour to make your half square triangles. I have used yellow, and you will need 2 squares 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. For the other half of these half square triangles I have used green. You will need 2 squares 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and you're also going to need 2 rectangles in this last colour 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Step 1 is of course cutting the fabric, and by week 3 you know how to do this, so cut your fabric pieces as per the required pieces as previously noted. And take note that this week not all of our original pattern pieces are squares, some are rectangles. On your tabletop, place one of your colour B, in my case white, rectangles onto your work surface, a good side facing up. And on top of this, place one of your coloured rectangles, good side down. Rule a centre line across this top fabric from long edge to long edge of the rectangle and pin on either side of the centre line. You know the next few steps, so align 1/4 inch from the centre line on the right, and so align 1/4 inch from the centre line on the left. The centre line itself remains unsewn. Remove your pins and cut down your centre line to reveal 2 halves. Open to reveal 2 half squares, and open the squares and iron all seams flat. Then it's on to creating our new favourite technique, which is our half square triangles. So back to the skill we have practiced so much. Place one of your coloured squares on your tabletop, good side up in a diamond shape. And on top of this, place your alternative square colour, good side down. Rule a centre line from top corner to bottom corner and pin on each wing of the diamond. So 1/4 inch from the centre line on the right, 1/4 inch from the centre line on the left, and again the centre line itself remains unsewn. Remove your pins and cut down the centre line to reveal 2 halves. Open to reveal your 2 half square triangles, and open all squares and iron the seams flat. Step 4 is trimming all your squares. So all your squares, even the ones that started out as rectangles, should all be trimmed to 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Be sure to trim each shape so the 2 colours have an equal portion of the square, whether on the diagonal or straight across. Step 5 is the fun part, arranging your pattern pieces how you wish for them to appear on your final block. Taking 3 pieces at a time, so 3 rows of 3 using your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Open and iron all seams as you go. With your 3 rows now sewn, it's time to sew these together to create the final block. Very carefully line one row atop another, and when your seams exactly match, iron and heavily pin in place. Sew your rows together again using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Open all seams on the back of the block to achieve a flat appearance, and congratulations, yet another block should now be complete. Just like our first 2, the block should currently be 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches. Just as in previous weeks, if you wish to purchase the written instructions for this 9-piece quilt, do follow the link below to my Etsy store. If you've just joined us, be sure to check out the previous 2 weeks and the blocks that I've shown you across those 2 weeks. I will see you next time for another quilt pattern.